So back in the day, there used to be a lot of parodies of Star Wars content, whether it be from Robot Chicken or the Family Guy Star Wars trilogy, or just in general, because a lot of people used to make parodies of Star Wars, and I kind of realized I don't really see it anymore. And when it comes to the mainstream spotlight, yeah, like on YouTube videos and that's what I was saying, like on the internet, you do still see parodies. But what I'm talking about is more, when shows used to parody Star Wars, whether it be for a random joke or for an entire special, and you don't really see it anymore. And I believe the reason why is because, more specifically, I was going to say Disney, but Lucasfilm seems very, very, against all these parody things. Unless it's done very, very respectfully. Because back in the day, it used to be when George Lucas was around, controlling Star Wars, you can make fun of anything from his stuff, and it was fine. Back then, anything went when it came to George Lucas. Back then, it was crazy, because there were so many different parodies of Star Wars related stuff, which was really, really cool. And I think myself and a lot of people really, really liked that. But nowadays, it's not really the case. And I first began with blaming Kathleen Kennedy, because there was a thing where in the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet, I remember there's a little bit of controversy involving Kathleen Kennedy with that, because there are stormtroopers in the movie, because there's a whole entire Disney section in that sequel where they went to the internet and they do some little bit of stormtroopers in there, and it was in the writers for that movie we're going to have more jokes relating to Disney Star Wars, but that was all cut thanks to Kathleen Kennedy, because she didn't want the brand to look silly, which is ridiculous. And now with two people running Star Wars now, maybe that'll change. Who knows? And I think that honestly should be the case. I think we should be allowed to do parodies, or mainstream shows should do parodies again, like it was in the past. Now, technically, because I have not watched Robot Chicken in a very long time. Maybe they still do it. I don't know. When it goes to Family Guy, no, they don't. They don't touch Star Wars anymore, which sucks. But maybe that's just a show-to-show basis. Maybe they don't want to. Maybe it's up to the creators in those shows that want to do parodies. That could be the case, simple as that. Maybe they don't see Star Wars as a valuable property to parody anymore because it's not that popular anymore. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's Disney's long-term plan to stop parody. They made Star Wars a non-big thing anymore, so no one's going to make parodies anymore. Maybe that's their big plan. Honestly, if that was the case, that would be such a really, really convoluted way to stop people from making parodies of the thing you own now. Which, if that's the case, that's really funny, but I doubt that's the case. I'm surely that's not the case. But I like for stuff to be parodied again in this franchise. I think there's a lot more content you can use to parody. But at the same time, I don't think Disney will allow these people and shows, or even their own stuff, with maybe Pixar, Walt Disney Animation, Marvel, maybe they don't allow them to do that because they just don't want to hurt their other franchises. Because if they start making fun of it, then maybe that will be harmful. Because I think you do a lot with making a parody of The Acolyte. I think The Acolyte's not a good show. You can do parodies of it, make fun of it, make jokes about it. But I don't think they're allowed to do that. I don't think anyone's allowed to do that because they don't want people acknowledging this stuff is bad. To Disney and Lucasfilm, they think everything is great with all their shows, but in actuality, it's not. There's a lot of shows that are bad or silly or have a lot of silly plot points and plot twists that can be made fun of, and I think should be. And I don't think the internet should be the only way to express that. Because on the internet, there's tons of videos people making jokes about the sequel trilogy, Book of Boba Fett, The Acolyte, and even The Mandalorian as well. People make parodies of that on the internet all the time, which is great to see. But I miss the days where you can just watch a favorite show, or even your favorite streaming show, and they can parody Star Wars, and that's not really the case anymore. To wrap things up, I would love to see shows like Family Guy, or The Simpsons, or whatever, whether it be South Park, or Robot Chicken, doing full-on parodies of The Acolyte. I would love to see that, but that will never happen. And that's really sad. But I'm gonna end things here. If you guys enjoy, hit the like button, subscribe, and go now. So, goodbye, everyone.